Welcome, Rift Runners. This is another tournament match between myself and Nick. We have Double Exile and Sleepers versus an Exiles, Flame Dawn, and Warpath deck. So, turn one, we're going to play Suffering Aurorian. He's just a cheap, get some damage in guy. And our plan here is to just get as many hits in as possible as quickly as possible, because this deck doesn't have much flying, for example. Not that we're going to have to deal with flying with these particular factions, but yeah, it doesn't have a lot of answers late game, so we're going to try and get lots of hits in early. We have got an Agent Coyle Hellbringer we can use, and yeah, I have renamed some of the Agent Coyle cards in case you're wondering, like, what's this new card? It's probably, I believe it is the correct name actually, but we've just changed the art there on that one. Oh, he's getting in harder than me, so that's a bit interesting. So we're going to have to deal with that. We'll bring Suffering Aurorian back to deal with that. When a character an opponent controls enters a deployed area, it becomes 10% more complete. When Violent Awakening is complete, all deployed characters you control and in your graveyard gain Bloodlust 3 permanently. That would be fun to do. So let's do that, because we're going to take some damage here, and we're going to have our creatures go to the graveyard. It's a bit of a risk, because we're probably going to take damage from this Sky Reaper every turn. So I think we actually need to go another way and actually just do more damage if possible. So we're just going to change our play there, just because we need to get a lot of tempo going. Otherwise he's going to win with that flying creature, if he plays that out. Okay, so yep, he is pumping his character up, which is an interesting play, because when Fleeting Footman enters combat with a character while attacking, it'll be moved to the support zone. So in this case, he probably didn't predict that I would move this guy back over here. Okay, and then just to keep this tempo going, we're going to swap this over here to try and do as much damage as possible and still be able to defend on the left side with the Infested Abomination. Okay, we'll put the Suffering Aurorian at the back to try and do as much damage as possible later on. And then we have the Demonic Mercenary. We'll hopefully get through and plunder him of his cards. Not that we need many more cards, but it'd be good to have him have less cards. So, because we might lose a character here, we will put the card we can afford to lose, which will probably be a Violent Awakening, at the front there. And then we'll move Hellbringer across. We do not want to lose Hellbringer, so we will bring all the expensive cards onto the right hand side in case of having too many cards at the end, which I believe we will have. So actually, now that I think about it, we probably should have put Abandoned Symbiote at the back, sorry, at the front, and have it be discarded, because that'll allow us to play it next turn. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to put Abandoned Symbiote here, because if we discard it, we'll be able to play it next turn on turn 6. So that's really cool. We want that to happen. So let's do that. And then the question is, do we... Well, we have 9 cards. We should really be discarding soon. We have to play something. So, with 5 resources, we might as well do this to get that effect. And then we will move, yep, we'll move a card over to our hand, which will hopefully mean that Abandoned Symbiote can be discarded. That's what we're looking for. Yep, I had a feeling he would put his Evolved Parasite in the defense zone. He's going to keep doing damage to me every time, so we'll run a bit of a timer. Oh, we have got a Hulking Sniper though, so that's good. Oh, not doing a lot of damage here. Still not discarding the Abandoned Symbiote, which is really annoying. Alright, we do want to do this damage to this guy, so that'll at least stop the bleed. And for 6 resources, we can bring out Zack and do some good damage. Then we're going to put the Ennobled Protector at the front to try and kill off the Paladin, and then hit through with the Demonic Mercenary to plunder, which means I will draw a card. It'll give me an extra card to hopefully be able to ditch the Abandoned Symbiote and be able to bring it out. And in fact, what we can do instead is try and... Well, we don't want to lose both cards at the same time. We want to lose the Dissension, which will allow us to make a character huge, which will give us a quicker win. Okay, and then unfortunately we did lose to the Fleeting Footman, and we still haven't managed to lose the Dissension. So what we'll do here, I'm thinking Hellbringer is a good play. We'll let Zach defend, and he'll become a 16/16 character with Consume. Even if he defends with the Tux Behemoth here, well, we don't want to lose the Infested Abomination. Oh, if we do, actually, we don't mind if we lose the Infested Abomination because he will deal 2 damage from the graveyard. But I still wouldn't like to not lose so many cards. So if we attack with Zach and he happens to defend with Tusk Behemoth, let's just assume he's on the defense and he's going to defend at the moment, then this will transform him. I'm risking something by not having something here, so I will put the Hulking Sniper in the defense zone. But then hopefully he will do more damage total because Zach will be able to kill off the Tusk Behemoth. The question is, which zone is he going to put it in? So that's the fun part about Infinity Wars, is you don't know what the person's going to do, so you have to try and predict what they're going to do. So we're going to use Agent Coyle Hellbringer. Going to sacrifice the Hungry Devil to make it into an 18/18. And then look, we're not going to lose all the characters, so we'll have something to play Dissension on next turn, either way. Yep, that's good. So he did go defensive. Our call was correct there. And so nice. Zach has definitely hit his stride. And we will... So Zach has definitely hit his stride there, and then now we will do a Dissension to try and bring it home there. And in case he defends with Cheryl, we don't want... Because the defending flying character will go against Zach, Lord of the Pit, which will mean that she'll trade with him. We want Infested Abomination to become a 20/20 demon. And in fact, we probably want Hulking Sniper to become a 20/20 demon instead. And then we'll put Infested Abomination into the support zone because we'd prefer to lose him. And then this should be a significant amount of damage. Now, we're putting Zach at the back because he's got low health and still has that plunder. Oh, yeah, so that'll be nice. Let's do that. Okay, so he's decided to go all out. That's okay. He's decided to attack me. We can afford to take some damage here. Unfortunately, he has used her ability, which is exhausted. So unfortunately, this, even though Alita comes from the command zone into the either the defense or the assault zone, because it's got effectively all creatures in the command zone have haste. Because he exhausted Alita after the point, it then moves Alita into the support zone. So Nick is relatively new to playing the game. He's done a lot of the art for us, but we have now recently said everyone should be playing at least a game or two a week would be good. And so he's learning the hard way that if you exhaust something, even though it's got haste, it will still go to the support zone before it gets a chance to defend. So this should be game. We will just bring out an Abandoned Symbiote and an Agent Coyle Alpha 1, and then this should be game. There is a 16/20, so we have to make sure we get through, which if he goes in defense with both, that could actually mean he survives another turn. So we'll attack with this and this together. Agent Coyle Hellbringer and Infested Abomination together should kill Alita, and then if he defends with Cheryl, well, the Unstoppable will mean he'll go through. So this should be game. Here we go. He's again doing that play where he exhausts Alita, trying to defend with her as well, and he's just going to push back. So it's unfortunate, but I hope now he's learnt it. But he's also dragging down this, which won't actually do a lot because the flying creature was going to defend either way. But it would have been good if he had kept Alita out and didn't use her ability. Anyway, that's a great little rundown of a match of Infinity Wars from some of the devs. It's going to add him using the add friend button here. Yeah, feel free to join us anytime. And in particular, we've got peak times, so have a look in your emails for those peak times. We'll actually put those into the news as well. So we'll put a news article up about that so that you can see when the peak times are for Infinity Wars. And that's when you can nearly always find a match, because we've got our QA team in the queues constantly for at least something like 20 hours a week. So yeah, you can find a match during those times. Feel free to come in and play with us as we rebuild the community. And yeah, thanks for watching and have a great one.